Spy drones from China? That's what House Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Michael McCaul claimed on Tuesday when speaking to reporters about the unidentified drones spotted flying above New Jersey and New York. McCaul is demanding answers from Biden officials. He said, quote, "I was with the NASA Administrator Bill Nelson. He said these drones have been reported over military sites. My judgment, based on my experience, is that those are over our military sites. Those that are over our military sites are adversarial and most likely coming from the People's Republic of China." McCaul said that the House Intelligence Committee is gearing up to have a hearing on this matter. On Tuesday, lawmakers in the House Intelligence Committee got a classified briefing from federal officials about the various drone sightings on the East Coast.
McCaul's claims come after Biden administration officials insisted many of the aircraft are commercial. Speaking to Fox News Tuesday, independent journalist Michael Schellenberger challenged the federal government's inconsistent explanations. Let's watch.
Last week, you had both DoD spokesperson John Kirby and Mayorkas, the head of DHS, insist emphatically that there had been no drone flyovers over U.S. military bases. Well, that night, actually on Friday night and then Saturday morning, there was a flyover of the Wright-Patterson Air Base in Ohio. And in fact, it's been widely reported. So it's curious why they said that. Yesterday, then Kirby came out and said, well, of course, we all know that there had been these drone flyovers. Are we to be led to believe that they examined 5,000 cases? 5,000, it's actually 6,000 according to FBI, but 6,000 people were interviewed, asked where they were, what direction they were pointed in. It just strains credulity for them to say these things. It really undermines the trust, and that's why you see conspiracy theories emerging into the vacuum.
Republican Congressman from New Jersey, Jeff Van Drew, posted on X, quote, "First, a Chinese spy balloon drifted across U.S. airspace for a week. Now unidentified drones are flying over New Jersey, avoiding radar detection. Gaps in our airspace are being exploited, and because of it, the safety of Americans is at risk." Conservative commentator Nick Sortor wrote, quote, "Mystery drones in New Jersey are Chinese spy drones, according to House Foreign Affairs Committee Chair McCaul. You've got to be kidding me. What the hell is Biden waiting for? Shoot them down if they can't be identified." Former Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker posted on X, quote, "Why should we believe the Biden administration about the drones when they didn't know about a spy balloon from China and did nothing to stop it? The number one job of the government is to keep us safe from our enemies. January 20th can't come fast enough."
Meanwhile, New York Democratic Senator Chuck Schumer just introduced drone legislation that would authorize state and local authorities to conduct drone surveillance and help them coordinate with federal officials. Local officials right now don't have the authority or money to track mysterious drones plaguing New Jersey and other areas.
Yes, so people who were in this briefing, who got this intelligence briefing, had a wide range of reactions to it. I saw reactions, yes, that it's China, reactions that these are actually federal government devices, reactions that we have no idea what it is. Everybody's all over the place here. So I agree we should not take the Biden administration at their word, and they're being very evasive here, explaining what these things are. I think the most likely reason for that, and I think you agree, as we've discussed many times, is that these are, in fact, federal devices. The government knows exactly what they are. They are ours. Some of them are just planes and people misidentifying things. That clearly does not explain everything people are saying. And the tendency to blame it on some kind of foreign externality is, I would caution Republicans against doing that, because that is actually providing cover for the Biden administration. You're like, why aren't they shooting Chinese or Iranian motherships out of the sky? It's because they know they're not. Mm-hmm. They know it's our things.
There's certainly, I think, the balance of probabilities is that they are our things, because I don't see why the Biden administration or any administration would be so relatively relaxed about a situation like this if there was even a question that it was an adversarial power sending these drones over. Congressman Van Drew was the one who talked about the idea that there was an Iranian mothership somehow off New Jersey somewhere sending these drones around, and then the Pentagon came out and said, no, that is not the case, and there is not any Iranian ship in that locality. Michael McCaul, I would say broadly a more credible voice, perhaps. I don't know exactly why he has concluded what he has concluded. I mean, it's obviously based on that briefing, which, as you say, gets divergent responses. It just seems that I mean, this is the second time after the other instance that was referred in our introduction there with the Chinese spy balloon and all of that, where these things have become a huge national story and the explanation offered has not been particularly effective any time. And so it obviously feeds public suspicion.
And is this a problem that our elected representatives, or not even, I mean, our elected representatives seen just as in the dark as us, which is a little worrisome. The people whom we have actual control over in the democratic process are totally in the dark, and this background level of officials, what Republicans derisively refer to as the deep state, these permanent administrators who are conducting these things or have much greater knowledge and insight, just continue to lie to us or mislead us about what the things actually are. I don't know. That's not always a comforting thought. I understand that sometimes there are going to be state secrets that need to be kept, the locations of our spies in foreign countries, their identities, right? That's not something we want leaked to the press or whistleblowers to come forward on that. We want whistleblowers to come forward when there's unethical or illegal conduct going on. But some things, fine, got to get kept secret. But the more things are kept secret, the easier it is for then the political elected figures who are he seemed just as misinformed as anyone else to make wildly speculative claims about foreign threats that then gin up the attitude, the willingness to do more civil liberties violations and pass more military spending and do all those sorts of things and have a more militaristic posture toward the rest of the world that actually the American people often have an impulse against, but because they're just saying things that are false, they're ginning us up in that direction.
Yeah, and the communications strategy here has been very, very questionable, because one would think, and we have spoken about this before, even if there were a need to keep some of this private or secret, the clarity and consistency of the explanation could still be provided. In other words, you could still provide accurate information that you don't then tweak and change and make U-turns around, while perhaps preserving some element of secrecy around exactly what is going on. But the fact that the explanations keep changing without any apparently good reason or any external factor, it's not that they've changed their mind, they've just changed their story. And I think that, of course, feeds public skepticism.
Yeah, it's feeding tremendous public skepticism and fear and reckless actions that are going to be taken by some members of the public, pointing lasers at planes in the sky, or trying to shoot down one of these things. Which if these things have some heft to them, they crash, they could injure someone. So providing an explanation, a real explanation, the truth, not just any explanation, sooner rather than later would, I think, be a good thing. Stay tuned. More Rising right after this.